I'm Teresa James, coming to you from Paradise, California. In Paradise, we grow apples, believe it or not, the Sierra Nevada foothills. I'm going to be making for you today apple crisp with a twist. Show you how it's done. In my pan here, I am melting 2 tablespoons of butter, and I'm going to add to that a 1/4 cup of brown sugar, packed brown sugar. Mix that all around, get that brown sugar buttered up. Making kind of a caramel to cook these apples in a little bit. I've got here 2 Granny Smith apples. I'm making 2 individual tarts. You could increase this recipe to make an 8x8 pan of this if you wanted. I'm just doing it here for 2. So I've got 2 apples diced up, and I like to leave the peel on. That's why I dice them up small, because I like the color of that Granny Smith, bright limey green, and the flavor, of course, of Granny Smith's, because they're tart and delightful. And they'll cook up quick this way. So I'm just going to let these cook up for a little bit, keeping an eye on them so I don't burn that caramel. And then we'll do our next step. I'd forget my head if it wasn't attached. I forgot to show you that I'm going to add here a 1/2 cup of softened Philadelphia cream cheese into the apples. Gotta have Philly. That's why it's Philly apple crisp with a twist. The twist is the Philly and the apples. And then we're going to do a whipped topping with some heavy cream and some whipped Philly to dollop on top. Ooh, won't that be delicious? So you can see that's melting in there nicely. You make this filling so creamy and delicious. Now we're going to mix up our crumble. First I have these adorable little purple apple-shaped ramekins. Can't wait to use those. Haven't used them yet. Spread them with some cooking spray. To the bowl, I'm going to add a 1/2 cup of old-fashioned oats, 2 tablespoons of flour, about a 1/4 cup of chopped walnuts, a 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, a 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, 2 tablespoons of butter that I've diced up. Here are my butter, walnuts, flour, oats, nutmeg, cinnamon. I'm just going to take my fingers and get right in there and crumble it up. This is the fun part. You get to play with your food. Just keep pinching and pinching. You got a nice, well, my bracelet's making a noise there. Just keep pinching and pinching till all that butter's incorporated and all those dry ingredients thoroughly mixed so that you can sprinkle this over the top. And it's going to cook in the oven to get this browned, melted in, crispy. That's why we call it crisp. Got my oven set for 375. Like I say, I'm just making 2 of these today because I have these 2 little cute ramekins. Wish I had more. But you can double this recipe, triple this recipe, and make it in an 8x8 pan or however you want to do it, individual little round ramekins. It's good anyway. Okay, now that's nicely incorporated in there into a nice lumpy bumpy crumble. You like lumpy bumpy? You know, this is going to be my last recipe. Kind of sad. Even teared up watching some of the ladies talk about being the last recipe. I want to thank my sister Carol for getting me into this. Carol sent me an email and said, you gotta look at this, and I did, and I fell for it in a big way. And I've loved every minute of it. So I'm going to keep following on the site. I'll submit some pictures like you've asked. It's just been a wonderful time. I want to thank Paula, Equal, and all the, excuse me, RWOP women. Okay, so I quit crying. Let's get this finished. I'm going to put this creamy apple mixture into my cute little ramekins. Get it in there so they're even. All of this goodness out of there. There we go. Now, that's warm and delicious already. It's going to go in the oven. Taste it. Oh, boy, is that good. Okay, right over the top, generously, goes our apple crumble. Oh boy, can't wait to try this. Lots of that crumble on there, fill those up. They look so cute. They're purple. Wearing purple mixer. We'll use that purple mixer in a minute to make our whipped topping that's going to go on top when we serve it up. So smush those down there. Look at those cute little things. Apple-shaped apple crisp. Okay, in my purple mixer, and I'm going to talk a little loud, I have a carton, half pint of thick whipping cream. And I've got it going here for only about a minute, and it's already getting nice and thick, so I'm going to start adding to that 1/4 cup of sugar, slowly. Just keep incorporating that in as it thickens up. The heavy whipping cream goes fast when it's whipping. Going to do a sweet cream topping for the top. It's also going to have our whipped Philly cream cheese. Never get enough good. Alright, that has already whipped up to heavy peaks. So now, just get some of that off of there. Now, in here goes a 1/2 cup, that's what I measured off the inside here. Of this room temperature soft Philly. Going to incorporate that right into that wonderful heavy cream and sugar, just like that. What do you taste? Oh boy, that is heaven. I'm going to put it in the fridge while we're waiting for our apple crisp. Okay, those sweet little ramekins are out of the oven. They're all crisped up. They smell absolutely fabulous. I want to tell you one other little fact about living across the street from an apple orchard in the Sierra Nevadas. A lot of deer. Deer come through the yard every day to the orchard, come back through at night to go home. Sometimes they bed down in my backyard. But I've also had bears. I've never seen one, but I've seen their little gifts they leave me. And they're kind of a problem for the orchard because they'll climb the trees if there's no apples on the ground and break the branches. So the orchard managers, owners, like to leave some of the apples on the ground for as long as they can so the bears won't climb the trees and ruin the trees. It's a little bit of factoid for you from Paradise, California. Here is our Philly apple crisp with the twist. The twist is the Philly cream cheese that was cooked into the apple as well as put into the whipped topping on top. Boy, oh boy, this is my best one yet. Maybe the last, but I saved it to the best. Well, I definitely saved the best for last. This Philly apple crisp with a twist is so good. Granny Smith apples with Philadelphia cream cheese, brown sugar, butter, oatmeal, spices, walnuts, a whipped topping made with cream and whipped Philly. Doesn't get any better than this. That is heaven. Heaven. I want to thank my family and friends who enjoyed some of these dishes with me. My birds who cheered me on through every video I did. My sister Carol again for getting me into this mess. What a wonderful mess it's been. I'm a messy cook. I love to cook. I've loved doing these videos. I've loved meeting all of you online. Thanks so much for all the fun. Take care. Bye.